You opened your laptop this morning with a plan. Answer 3 emails. Finish the quarterly review. Close the laptop by 6. By 9:17 a.m., the AI assistant had drafted all 3 emails. By 9:34, it had summarized the quarter's data into a neat 3-page report. By 10:02, your inbox had 27 new messages, and your manager had already assigned you to 2 more projects, because you suddenly looked like you had the bandwidth. The AI gave you back 90 minutes. Your workday took them back and asked for interest. But the real answer is far stranger. You are not exhausted because AI failed. You are exhausted because it succeeded. The tool that was supposed to free you has become the justification for filling every freed minute with more. Your output has never been higher. Your sustainability has never been lower. And the strangest part, the part nobody warned you about, is that the exhaustion doesn't feel like the old-fashioned burnout you recognize. It feels quieter, flatter, like your brain has been replaced with static. In 2026, researchers have given this phenomenon a name: AI fatigue. But the name is less important than what it reveals about how your mind actually works under conditions of limitless efficiency. A survey of over 1,000 employees found that the people embracing AI tools the most are the first to show signs of burnout. CNN called it brain fry. And the numbers don't lie. The heaviest AI users reported the highest productivity and the highest exhaustion simultaneously. 2 numbers that should never rise together, now moving in lockstep. Here is what you were told. AI handles the grunt work so you can focus on the meaningful stuff. Here is what actually happened. AI handles the grunt work so you can do more grunt work, faster, across more channels, with fewer pauses. Your to-do list did not shrink. It expanded to fill every second the AI freed up, and then it overflowed into your lunch break, your evening, and the quiet space between 11 p.m. and midnight where you used to just exist. This is not a new pattern. It is an old pattern accelerated by software. In 1955, a British naval historian named C. Northcote Parkinson observed something peculiar about bureaucracy. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Parkinson was studying the British civil service, but he accidentally described the core dynamic of the AI workplace 70 years before the tools arrived. Give a human more capacity, and the system does not reward them with less work. It rewards them with more expectations. The efficiency is real. The relief never arrives. You are living inside Parkinson's Law right now, except the expansion happens at software speed. The AI clears your morning. By noon, the gap has been filled. By 2 o'clock, you are further behind than when you started, and you cannot figure out why you feel drained when every metric says you are winning. But the workload expansion is only half the problem. The other half happens inside your head, in the architecture of your attention. And this is where the science gets unsettling. Think about what your workday actually looks like now. You switch from the AI drafting tool to the AI summarizing tool to the AI image generator to the AI meeting transcriber. Each switch feels seamless. Each tool saves you minutes. But something else is happening beneath the surface, and it matters far more than the minutes you save. Gloria Mark, a researcher at the University of California, Irvine, has spent decades studying what happens to the human brain when it moves between tasks. Her findings should change how you use every piece of software you touch. When you switch from one screen to another, from one AI tool to the next, from one context to another, your attention does not move cleanly. A residue stays behind. Part of your mind remains anchored to the previous task, the previous tool, the previous expectation. Mark found that after an interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully return your focus to where it was before. 23 minutes of partial attention. 23 minutes of your brain running 2 programs at once while pretending to run one. Now count how many times you switched contexts today. 10? 30? 50? The AI tools made each switch faster. They removed the friction that used to slow you down. But they did not remove the cognitive cost. If anything, they increased it. Because when switching is frictionless, you do it far more often. You are not working in parallel. You are accumulating attention residue, layer by layer, until your brain is carrying the weight of every task you touched but never fully left. This is why you feel flat. Not tired in the way a workout makes you tired. Flat, like the mental equivalent of a phone battery that stays at 2% no matter how long it charges. Your brain has not stopped working, it has stopped recovering. And now we arrive at the part that feels like a betrayal. You chose to use these tools. Nobody forced you. You were being proactive, resourceful, smart. You were taking control of your time, your workflow, your career. This was supposed to be the upside, AI as the ultimate lever, the thing that finally gives you back agency over your day. So why does it feel like you have less control than ever? Because you walked into something known as the autonomy paradox. The term comes from research on workplace technology, and it describes a trap that is almost impossible to see from the inside. A tool promises you more choice, more freedom, more command over your work. But once you adopt it, the expectations around you reorganize silently. Your responsiveness becomes the new baseline. Your speed becomes the new normal. What was once voluntary becomes mandatory, not because anyone issued a decree, but because the system quietly recalibrated around your new capacity. Melissa Masmenian, a researcher who has studied the intersection of technology and work-life boundaries, describes a phenomenon she calls the always-on expectation spiral. The more available you become, the more AI enables you to respond faster, produce faster, deliver faster. The more availability the culture around you begins to treat as standard. You did not lose your autonomy to a boss. You lost it to a norm that you helped create just by being good at the tools. That is the dark heart of AI fatigue. The tools are not burning you out directly. They are burning you out by making you too good at the game. So good that the game scales up to match, and then exceeds, what any human can sustain. Let's bring this down to the ground. Here is what the pattern actually looks like in your life. Monday morning. You use an AI tool to draft a client proposal in 15 minutes instead of 2 hours. You feel a flicker of victory, the kind that makes you sit up a little straighter. By Monday afternoon, your boss has noticed the proposal came back fast and asks you to handle 2 more. The AI makes it easy, so you say yes. What else are you going to say? Tuesday, you use a different AI tool to analyze a spreadsheet that used to take half a day. It takes 22 minutes. You send the analysis out. Wednesday morning, 3 departments want the same treatment. You are now the go-to person for fast turnaround, which means you are the person who never turns off. By Thursday, you are drafting emails at 9:43 p.m. because you know the AI can polish them in 30 seconds, and you might as well clear the queue. By Friday, your brain feels like a browser with 40 tabs open, and you cannot remember which one is playing the music. And here is the thing that should stop you cold. None of that was malicious. Your boss was not exploiting you. Your colleagues were not dumping work on you. The AI was not malfunctioning. Every single person in that chain was acting rationally. You were efficient. They rewarded the efficiency with more responsibility. You accepted it because the tools made acceptance feel costless. The system optimized itself into a burnout machine without a single villain. That is what makes AI fatigue so hard to name and so easy to blame on yourself. You look at your output and think you should feel proud. You look at your energy and feel like you are failing. The contradiction is not a personal weakness. It is a structural trap built into the logic of unbounded productivity. So what do you do with this information? You cannot unlearn the tools. You should not want to. AI is real, it is useful, and pretending otherwise is not a strategy. But there is a strategy hiding inside the diagnosis, and it begins with a single shift. Stop using AI to do more and start using it to do less, better. This sounds glib. It is not. It is the hardest thing you will attempt this year because it requires you to set a boundary that no one around you will validate. Every time the AI saves you an hour, the default move is to fill that hour with another task. That is what the workplace expects. That is what your own ambition expects. But the counter-move, the one that breaks the fatigue cycle, is to protect that hour as if it were sacred. Guard it. Do not announce it. Do not advertise your new capacity. Use the AI's speed to create a margin, not to eliminate one. This is not laziness. It is sustainability engineering, and the research supports it. When Gloria Mark's team studied knowledge workers who deliberately protected blocks of uninterrupted time, no email, no messaging, no AI-assisted task switching, they found that those workers not only produced higher quality output, but reported feeling significantly less exhausted at the end of the day. The quality of attention mattered more than the quantity of tasks completed. The brain is not a machine that benefits from being run at full capacity all day. It is a biological system that requires fallow periods, gaps, pauses, empty space, to function at its best. AI removes the gaps. That is its gift and its curse. To use AI without being consumed by it, you must put the gaps back intentionally, even when, especially when, every incentive around you pushes in the opposite direction. Here is the one thing to try. Tomorrow, identify one task the AI handles for you, one report, one email batch, one analysis, that saves you at least 30 minutes. When the AI finishes, do not open the next task. Close the screen, stand up, walk to a window. Let 30 minutes pass without input. Do not check your phone. Do not plan your afternoon. Let your attention settle like dust in a room where the fan has finally been turned off. This will feel wrong. You will feel the gravitational pull of the to-do list. Your brain will tell you that you are wasting time, falling behind, letting someone down. That is the fatigue talking. That is the system that trained you to equate movement with value and stillness with failure. Ignore it. The stillness is not empty. It is the thing that lets your brain rebuild what the constant switching has eroded. If 30 minutes is too much, start with 10. The number does not matter. The boundary matters. The intentional gap matters. Because AI will keep getting faster. The workplace will keep filling the hours it gives back. And you will keep accelerating until you become the person who decides where the hours go. Or the person who burns out, wondering why the fastest tools in history made everything feel slower. You opened your laptop this morning with a plan.